Hey y'all. Yes. How y'all doing out there? Hope everybody doing all right. Shout out to everybody and shout out to my workers. And most definitely, shout out to all my funny acting people. Yes, sir. Yes. Y'all, you know, it's been a long time since we brought the awareness back to Krystal Anderson case. Y'all remember Krystal Anderson? Yes, that's one of the cases that we cover over here, right? Together. Now, it's something about Tony Berry timeline of Krystal Anderson still doesn't set right for me. This is Krystal Anderson, y'all. Beautiful mother of four and a beautiful older sister. Did all she could to try to solve her sister case along with us. And this is the dude that she was dating at the time. Now I want to get into this content, but before we get started, we got to do this, y'all. Close that screen though and start letting all them flies up in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all like and share and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all feedback on these contents. How you think and how you feel how you think and what would you do in this situation. I like the feedback that y'all giving about the inside of the video. Now I want to tell you a little bit about Tony and Berry and Krystal Anderson case. Now, for those who don't know and don't remember, on September the 28th, Krystal boyfriend, Tony Berry, was arrested and charged with her kidnapping. Yes, he was. Now, the update on Tuesday, and that time, Tuesday, December 13th, 2022, we was covering two cases at that time. Her case and Alexis Ware case in 2022. Okay, now Tony Berry was charged with her murder, y'all. He was charged with the kidnapping and the disappearing of this beautiful young mother. Now we're gonna put awareness on her name because we can do that. Okay, I want to share with y'all two different videos. What happened to Krystal Anderson? And I want to go through the timeline that kind of like bothers me about this case. You know what I mean? I just don't. This is what Trump need to work on. All these alleged criminals who are hiding these bodies, but they sitting in jail, just sitting there smoking and having a good time, like they still on the streets. Now Trump got to do something about those people if he want to do something. Okay, with that ink pen, let's do something about that. So y'all, video that we're gonna tune into is this first video right here. Okay, here we go. Now, before I go into my timeline, I want to go here. Okay. And you know what? I think I'm going to lower that. The reason why I'm going to lower that look like it's play better. Okay. Now, this is Tony Berry's son, Darius Berry. There, some kind of way, allegedly, Tony involved his son in this some kind like an accessory, but neither one of them was charged for that. Okay, and she wouldn't dare leave her 4 kids alone because she loved her kids. So let's take a look at this.
Update to a story we've been covering since August. The son of an accused murderer is out of jail on bond. Darius Berry was arrested in connection with the death of Krystal Anderson on a charge of accessory to murder after the fact. His father, Tony Berry, is still in the Aiken County Jail, charged with Anderson's murder and kidnapping. Authorities believe Tony Berry put Anderson into the trunk of a car back on August 20th. At some point, they say he killed her, and Darius helped his dad conceal the evidence by burning the car in Newberry County 8 days later. Krystal was a mother, friend, and sister, and since her disappearance, her family has not stopped looking for answer.
Okay, so y'all remember that, right? I'm trying to refresh y'all memories. Now let's go to this timeline, y'all. Work with me with this timeline, okay? We did it a couple of times, but that's since our mind, let's kind of like put it together, okay?
August 23rd. So this is something now we've been dealing with almost 4 months. They said they hadn't seen her since August 20th, so they start to get a little concerned. And they say this isn't something that she normally does, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when they reported her missing, they turned to Tony, and Tony was like, well, I haven't seen her since August 20th. I was going to turn her in as missing, but he wanted to wait a little bit, and Krystal's sister, Shadira, told him, well, if you don't do something, I am. And so she went to the cops with her family, and they turned her in, and it just has transpired into a whole, on Tuesday, it will mark 4 months, so a whole 4-month journey that Shadira believes could have been solved a little bit sooner had they kind of listened to him.
Right, and we'll kind of get into that because this is a pretty slow-moving process, and all of a sudden everything happens all at once. It's been a really busy week these days. So we have that on the 23rd. On the 26th, we pick up with them. So family's worried about Krystal missing. Now we're going on almost a week that they haven't seen her, and the mother last heard from her Saturday the 20th at about, or Saturday the 20th. So now we're going on a week of her being missing. Unlike her, she's a mother of 4. She's got young kids. Family said she sometimes goes on these breaks, but never without her kids. So this is starting to raise some red flags. And now the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is involved.
Well, another thing to note on that too is Krystal's active on social media a lot. Her TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, anything you can think of. She's showing her kids. Shadira talks about how she loved dressing them up for school, taking their pictures, and it was also the start of school. So the kids never missed school, and during this time frame, they actually weren't at school one of those days, and so they were kind of worried about that. And now, as we've said before, it's kind of ramped up, and kids kind of been separated some to be with their fathers, so they can take care of them all. But yeah, it's been a pretty crazy journey.
Yeah, now frustration is starting to grow at this point between the family and the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. So skip ahead now to September 5th. We're going 17 days without Krystal. Family feels like they're in the dark. We'll play a soundbite that we have from around that time from the family, just kind of showing their frustration.
I feel very much in the dark because I have not received one phone call from Aiken County, not even a call of empathy.
So
y'all remember that, right? That's her older sister. That's her big sister.
Weeks, 2.5 weeks after Krystal's gone missing, and Aiken County at this point, we reached out to them. They say they've reached out to surrounding agencies to be aware from her. She's got ties in Raleigh or somewhere in North Carolina.
So her sister actually lives in North Carolina, so she travels back and forth to visit family and in between. So
okay, so now that's September 5th. The same day or maybe the next day, sometime that week, because this case is now being treated as missing persons for both Krystal and Tony. So this is where things start to shift, because now this week Tony comes into the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. What happened there?
So he told Aiken County, hey, I'm not missing. I haven't been missing. Here I am. Let's questioned him, and when I spoke with PIO, Captain Abdullah, he said they had no means for arrest at that time. So Tony walked out a free man, which really upset the family. They were, her sister Shadira really listened to that gut instinct. She was like, "This doesn't feel right," and so
Right.
he walked out a free man. And a couple days later, it revamped up again, where they put out an arrest warrant for him.
Yeah, and so they do put out the arrest warrant for Krystal Anderson's disappearance. At this point, they believe she's
kidnapped.
Right. She's been kidnapped, and so September 28th now, the arrest warrant goes out for Tony Berry. He is arrested at some hotel or something here in Augusta.
Not Augusta. In South Carolina.
My fault. In South Carolina. And like we said, up until this point, he's been listed as a missing person. So when he gets arrested, what's the family saying?
So the family is relieved. It's a little bit of okay, Tony Berry's off the street, but they don't believe they've gotten everyone. They still think that there's some more people out there that have kind of helped in this area. So Shadira and the family are thankful, but now they've got 4 children, still no missing, still no mom, and also one of those children share Tony and Krystal have a child together. So Serenity is looking for her mom. She's really wanting that answer that she doesn't have both parents, and so Shadira is trying to figure out how to get in the mix of all of this and take care of all kids on top of Krystal's mother being sick as well.
Right, and so that's 2 months ago now. So things have been a little bit quiet for the past 2 months. Obviously, we're still keeping up with the small updates, but then this week, things really start to pick up. So Tony was denied bond for a second time.
He requested a second bond hearing just to see if the judges would do anything, or the judge would do anything more in that. And he showed back up on Monday for that, and it was actually denied again. And the court told the family that they were pursuing a murder charge, and at that time had not charged him, but on Tuesday he got that murder charge.
And that was a big moment for the family. To hear the word murder in relation to their loved one, Krystal, they thought had just been missing. They're holding out this hope that she'll be home for Christmas, get to see her family, be around for the holidays. When they hear that murder, that kind of changed things for them.
Oh yeah. Shadira said that she lost at that moment her faith that Krystal would ever return, she'd ever lay eyes back on her, really began to fade, and that worry of how do I tell my 4 nieces and nephews that their mom's not going to be here for Christmas. And October was also, let's back up a little bit, a big month for them too. There's birthdays. Krystal had a birthday, a couple of the children, they're not here. She's missed birthdays now. She's missed Thanksgiving. Think about Christmas. I don't know what I would do without my mom for Christmas.
Yeah, and like you said, Serenity, mom's missing, and dad at this point has been taken into custody.
Absolutely.
So both parents now out of the picture for the holidays, and just can't
See,
imagine.
this is something that Trump need to change the law and make it difficult for people that unalive folks or either hide people and don't tell where they are. Just get rid of them. I mean, I hate to be, sound so harsh about that, but it's not fair for somebody loving family to be unalive just because of your jealousy or wrongdoing or whatever happened that y'all got into it or whatever. It's not fair for that family member to be still alive and that family member not. They need to do something about this law, because we in so many situations as the loved ones are gone, trying to work out the relationship and it doesn't work out. So I hope some kind of law that Trump can balance and work on. I mean, somebody need to do something about this. This is so sad.
What that's like for 7-year-olds?
Yes, she just turned 7. She actually told Shadira this week that when Shadira was doing her hair for school, that she said she wanted a new dad. She didn't want Tony as her dad anymore.
Oh my God.
For a 7-year-old to have that thought,
she understands.
She wanted a new dad. For a young lady, for a beautiful child to say that, that's just awareness, y'all. Okay? Don't forget about these people.
Going on, but she doesn't really know. They're trying. At 7 years old, how do you comprehend all of that?
Yeah, it's just something a 7-year-old shouldn't have to try to comprehend.
Absolutely. But they say she's so mature. She's handled this so well. She even, for her birthday, wanted Krystal's picture on her birthday cake.
Oh, wow.
So things are starting to pick up, like we said. So we had that early in the week, and then yesterday we get another breakthrough. So yesterday we get Tony's son, Darius, has been arrested. So what happened there?
So Darius is younger, and it kind of came as a shock to family about Darius being charged with accessory to murder after the fact. So he kind of knew what was going on. We'll have further details on that later this afternoon, but it was a semi shock for them, I have to say. And yesterday, I did attend his bond hearing, and he got bond for $20,000, and he will be able to wear an ankle monitor until they say so. But the family he cannot have any contact with Krystal's family from here on out.
Right, and so one of the big things we got from that yesterday too was we learned a lot of new information. So kind of a timeline that the sheriff's office had of what happened, what led them to the point of arresting Tony, one, and then arresting Darius, two. So what we learned was officials believe that Tony killed Krystal Anderson on August 20th. So coming up on 4 months now. Killed her on the 20th, sometime between 9:30 and 11:30 that night. So what we know is a witness saw some sort of argument between Tony and Krystal that day, and then later that night, somebody saw Tony putting Krystal into
a car, his Cadillac. And you know what's weird about that is Shadir's family told law enforcement, they told us that the children, they heard the argument. They saw, one of the sons saw Krystal being put into that trunk, and we don't know what happened with that, but that, he wasn't, they did believe all of that happened on the 20th, but that he planned all of this out, and they were able to find that through a cell phone database search, where he searched up how to commit this crime and then leave no evidence behind.
Yep, and they found, I guess,
and y'all know he is about the third guy has got on the line to find out how to do this kind of thing to people, and they get away with it. They get away with doing this. It's amazing how you can go online and say how to get rid of a body, how to do, and they get rid of it, and then we don't never see it before for real. It's amazing how you can just Google something and it popped up like that, and then you do it and you get away with it. What's it? I just don't understand that.
Something that he had purchased. Just listen to what he had purchased: a gas-powered auger, so to dig a hole, a shovel, fuel, coveralls, gloves.
Y'all see what this man had purchased? Listen, a gas-powered auger to dig up a hole, shovel, fuel, overalls, gloves. Jeez, Tony.
Trash bags and plastic wrap. So
he was ready for this, and that is.
But what's the plastic bag for? If you're gonna do the body like that, that was one of the unremarkable. Well, I don't know what word to use, y'all. Why would you put it in a plastic bag if you were gonna do that to it? What you saving the bones for? What you saving the ashes for? What was the plastic bag for? To put the stuff that. So did you bury? Look, it sounds like to me, y'all. He buried the stuff that he used, but he did something else with the body. Because where's the equipment that he used? Tom had to have allegedly, don't have to have help, but allegedly he had. I think that he had help.
So sad.
right, this I'm not an expert by any means, but that doesn't sound like everyday things that you're buying at the grocery store.
That's right.
So that is some new stuff that we learned at the bond hearing and throughout the day yesterday and into today. And like you said, researching how to commit this crime and leave no evidence. So now, how does the family feel? Because they've been saying this for 4 months now, that they believe something's fishy. Tony Barrett could be a suspect. They don't believe their sister would, or that Krystal would just up and leave without her kids. And now they've gone through this hope of having her back, and then all of a sudden this devastation of realizing she's probably not coming back. So where are they at today? You talked to the sister again, Shadira, this morning. How are they doing?
I mean, think about it. Their emotions are up and down, up and down. They just pray that they can find her alive somewhere. They just want her back. And for them, Shadira this morning, she has been so upset. Her voice is gone. She's getting sick. I mean, and that fear of how do you tell 7-year-old Serenity that her mother has passed? Like,
How you tell? How could you tell any of them that their mama? They haven't. They have what you can say to all of them. They can't believe their mama gone like that.
Don't know how to do that, and she doesn't, know if she'll be able to tell her. And again, we'll have more on that, but they're upset. They feel betrayed. They say that if law enforcement may have listened to them a little bit sooner, what they were saying, that gut instinct, that Chris, they may not have been able to save Krystal, but it would have saved heartache of an extra couple of months of having to go through this, because the holiday season is not always an easy time for everyone.
Right.
And so you think about now you the loss of a family member, and this child, we
Yeah, yeah. Just want to bring that update in here. I want to see. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Oh, this one. I want to see something. This is a story that really touches my heart because I have a sister as well. You know what I mean? And we close, and she got kids too, 4 kids. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. And see, he looked at the Tony. Like I said, Tony Berry is currently still locked up in custody. Will not get a bond, hopefully. And let's give. I just want to come in and give my awareness to the family that let her know that we will never forget about Krystal Anderson. And I hope the kids doing good. I would like to see the kids. Have they grown? Have they grown? I know they don't grow. I mean, I'm trying to see can I find an update on them. That's who I'm worrying about. I want to see the kids. Y'all see how the kids doing. You know what I mean? It seemed like we got close to the family. Okay, let me see. Can I give an update on the kids? Let me see how they grow. Tony's still not talking, y'all. I can't find nothing on nothing, but I did find this here. It's sort of like an update. Hold on, y'all. Let me let y'all see this. Found a little update. Hold on. This was published back in 2024. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let me see. Let's take a look at this video right here.
2 years since an Aiken County mom, Krystal Anderson, went missing outside
Hold on, guys.
her home. Her boyfriend, Tony Berry, charged with her murder. They found his burned out car in a wooded area, but her remains were never found. In Columbia today, Anderson's family held a vigil remembering Krystal, and your Hallie Turner is live in the newsroom with the latest on that case and how family and friends are holding up.
Investigators tell me they're still working every lead in this case, and they aren't giving up until they find Krystal's body. Shadira Smothers says August 20th of 2022 will always be etched in her memory.
That day is the day that changed my whole life. So I can never forget that exact date.
It's the last time anyone ever heard from her sister Krystal. She disappeared without a trace, leaving 4 children behind, children she was never without. Months later, investigators in Newberry found a car burned in a wooded area, and they were able to trace it back to her ex-boyfriend, Tony Berry. But they still haven't found her body. Berry is charged with her kidnapping and murder. He's behind bars without bond.
I never thought that I would be here 2 years later. I never thought that this would be the last time.
In Columbia today, they celebrated Krystal's life with balloons and
We love you, Krystal!
as time isn't helping.
It doesn't get easier, it gets harder because the more and more time that goes on, you lose that faith. And that's the hardest thing, is trying to keep having faith.
Private investigator Chandra Cleveland says it isn't unusual for cases to stall like this.
But law enforcement cannot give you play-by-play of their investigation. So waiting, I know it hurts families, but sometimes it can help. Have someone, if you don't have a private investigator, you can do something. And that is listen and put your word out in your community.
She says the best advice is to let law enforcement do their job, even with the suspect behind bars. The case is not over.
Family, you want to try and solve the crime on your own, but please don't. Because if you tamper with evidence, someone will get away with murder.
That's right.
And Hallie, this case has been getting national attention as well.
And that's a nice. That's it. What she said. What the investigator said. That is true. That's true. But y'all, if y'all heard anything, you know anything, I know, just hey, reach out because you know I'll listen to you. You know, one day we're gonna talk about it. Love y'all and peace.